Hi, it's Steven checking in. It's Friday, January the 23rd, 2026. And I'm responding to a post from Roseanne I came across while swiping on TikTok regarding a term perverse reversal. And it's the idea that what is holy is intentionally inverted or defiled. That framing can resonate deeply, especially for those who have genuinely witnessed abuse, corruption, or betrayal within systems meant to protect. And she was asking why this is happening. And I think I have a perspective on that. When someone has been wronged at such a profound level, the need for rectification, a sense of moral accounting, can become overwhelming. For many, healing feels impossible without witnessing accountability. That impulse is deeply human. Yet this is where the greater peril emerges. Energy flows where attention goes. When our focus becomes fixed on the darkness itself, on tracing inversion, identifying offenders, or repeatedly exposing corruption, we risk sustaining the very loop we are trying to escape. Trauma binds attention to harm, requiring continuous emotional energy in the hope that justice will eventually balance the scales. There's even an argument to be made that constant amplification of evil, even under the banner of awareness, can spread pain further, and in some cases fabricate it. As humans, we do not merely observe reality, we participate in it. What we focus on repeatedly can become encoded, reinforced, and ultimately manifested into reality. This is why cult dynamics persist, not only through deception, but through attention, fear, outraged, and unresolved trauma from a closed circuit that feeds itself. True liberation does not come from confronting darkness endlessly, but from withdrawing nourishment from it altogether. When we release the need for retribution, not justice itself, but fixation on it, the loop loses fuel. Deprived of energy, it collapses under its own weight. Scripture speaks directly to this principle. Do not give what is holy to the dogs, nor cast your pearls before swine, lest they trample them under their feet and turn and tear you to pieces. Matthew chapter 7, verse 6. The pearls here are not merely knowledge or truth. They are your energy, your attention, your life force. When poured into darkness, they do not heal it, they sustain it. Discernment, then, is not found staring longer into corruption, but in choosing where and where not to place our light. This raises another difficult but necessary question. When we look at the horrific histories, such as the atrocities of World War II, or the deepest evils of racism, most of us alive today did not live through these events directly. The suffering was real, the trauma was real, the victims were real. But are we generations later sometimes being programmed with inherited pain? Pain so heavy that it cannot be carried by one generation alone, and therefore must be passed on, retold, replayed, and reactivated, not always by healing, but simply to survive the weight of it. I mean, at what point does remembrance shift into just reinforcement and programming of pain? From my perspective, I didn't live through these events, right? So it's essentially no different than being presented with a virtual blade, and then because it's too heavy to hold, I then manifest it into a physical blade and I pass it on to others.